Master, do you hear me? Do you feel me? I know you do. I know you can sense it, sense me. You always could. Even when I was lost, even when I was consumed, I could still feel your presence in the Force, distant, watching, waiting. And now, I am here. I have returned.
A trick, this is. A disturbance in the Force, I feel. Faint, yet present. Familiar, yet wrong. Illusions the dark side conjures. Shadows, it twists. Many times before have I felt such things. Whispers, deception, echoes of what once was but is no longer. A trick, this must be. A test, perhaps. Or a trap.
It's me, Master. Not a vision. Not a trick of the dark side. Not a lie whispered by the shadows. It is me. The boy you once trained. The Jedi I was meant to be. The one you feared was lost forever. And yet, here I stand before you. Through the Force. Through the light. You know the truth. You feel it. You may not believe it yet, but you will.
No. Impossible, this is. Deception, it must be. The past does not return. The dead, in the Force, they become one. They do not walk among the living. No matter how strong, no matter how powerful, no matter how much grief one carries. Return, they do not. Cannot. Jedi do not cling to the world they leave behind. Accept this. We must. And yet, here you stand. Here you linger.
It's not a deception. It's not some cruel illusion sent to torment you. I swear it. I swear it. I have returned through the Force, not as Vader, not as the monster I allowed myself to become, but as Anakin Skywalker, the man you once knew, the Jedi I once was. I thought I had been erased, buried beneath the darkness, but the Force does not forget. The Force has given me this chance, and I will not waste it.
A lie, this is. A trick of the dark side. Many forms it takes. Many faces it wears. Knows my mind? It does. Knows my regrets. Knows my fears. It seeks to break my resolve, to pull me into doubt. A name it speaks, meant to weaken me. A voice it wears, meant to deceive. But fooled, I will not be. See through this deception, I do. Or, see through me, it does.
Because you have to know. You must understand. What is coming cannot be ignored. What has been set in motion cannot be stopped. I failed you. I failed everyone. And now, it is happening all over again. The past is repeating itself, Master. The same choices, the same fears, the same mistakes. But this time, there is still a chance to change it. A chance to stop what I could not.
Return, Jedi do not. Pass on, they must. Fade, they must. Accept the Force, they must. And become part of the living energy of all things. Not cling to the past. Not hold on to what was. This, the way of the Jedi, is. A truth I have known for many, many years. And yet, still here you are. Still speaking, still present. Tell me, how? Why? What power allows this? And what purpose does it serve?
I know. I will never escape what I have done. No matter how far I reach, no matter how deeply I regret, I will never undo the pain I caused, the lives I took, the suffering I allowed. I can never take back what I became. I can never undo the war, the destruction, the terror. I will carry it for as long as I exist. But that's not why I'm here. That's not why the Force allows me to stand before you now. I am here because there is still time. Time to make a different choice.
Failed, you did. Many lost, because of you. Many worlds burned. Many voices silenced. Much darkness you brought. This, no lie is. This, no deception is. Heavy, your choices were. Terrible. The Jedi, gone. The Republic, no more. A galaxy, left in ruin, all by your hand. And now before me, you stand and say, time, there still is? A mistake, once made, cannot be undone. A wound, too deep, cannot heal. Time. For what?
For him. For my son. For Luke. For the last hope in the galaxy. The last light in all of this darkness. For you to see that the same mistakes do not need to be made again. I was lost, Master. But Luke is not. Not yet. But if you hesitate, if you let fear decide for you as it once decided for me, then you will lose him. And if you lose him, then the galaxy falls with him.
Much anger in him there is. Much pain. Much grief. Much loss. A reflection I see. A path. Too familiar. The same path I fear. The same choices. The same fall. To darkness. Drawn. As you once were. In him, I see what I once saw in you. Potential. Power. But danger too. And if he stumbles? And if he wavers? And if, like you, he chooses the path you once walked? Tell me how to stop it, you know? Tell me, certain you are, that it will not happen.
Not this time. This time, I know what will happen. This time, I see it clearly. You trained Luke. You gave him knowledge, wisdom, the foundation of what he must be. But you do not believe in him. Not truly. You do not trust that he is strong enough to stand against the darkness, to resist what I could not. I can feel your doubts, just as I once felt my own. You fear that he will fall, that he will take the path I did. And it is that fear, that very fear, that may doom him.
And if lost, he becomes? If Vader's fate he shares? If to darkness he turns? If the shadow consumes him as it consumed you? If by my hand another Jedi is lost? If history repeats itself, as it so often does? Can that risk I take? That failure can I bear? Alone he stands against a darkness vast, a darkness patient, a darkness that knows. And in the end, strong enough he is? Tell me, he is strong enough?
Then help him. Do not abandon him to his fate. Guide him, the way I was never guided. Do not push him toward the darkness by making him fear what he could become. Teach him how to resist it. Teach him what I was never taught. Let him see that he does not have to fall, that he is not doomed to my fate. You were wrong about me, Master. You did not trust that I could be saved.
Real, you are. Truly. In the Force, you remain. A trick, this is not. Not the dark side, not deception. Not the shadow seeking to twist my thoughts. Number Anakin it is. Anakin Skywalker. Returned through the light. Here before me you stand. And yet, my heart does not know whether to find peace or sorrow.
Then that is my failure to bear, not yours. But I do not believe it will happen. I have seen the way he looks at the galaxy, the way he still hopes, even after everything that has been taken from him, after everything the Empire has done, after everything he has lost, he still believes. I had that once. I had that hope, and I let it slip through my fingers. I let the galaxy convince me that it wasn't real, that I needed more, that I had to take control. Luke does not see the galaxy that way. He still believes there is good, and that belief is the only thing keeping the darkness from taking him. But if you let fear dictate his path, if you keep the truth from him, if you force him to carry this burden alone, then you will lose him. And if you lose him, then all of this, everything we fought for, everything I destroyed, will have been for nothing.
Much to teach, Luke still has. Much to learn, much to prove. The burden he carries, heavy it is. The weight of legacy, of expectation. The weight of the Jedi placed upon him too soon. Too soon. And yet, no other choice there is. If hope to remain there is, then ready he must be.
Yes. You know it to be true. You feel it, don't you? The time is coming. the moment of choice. Do not wait too long, Master. Luke will need you, more than he even knows.
Then don't wait too long. The time is coming, and he will need you. Need you more than he knows. More than even I know. Ready, he must be. Ready, we must be. Because this war, it is not over. Not yet.
Do not let fear decide for you, Master. Not again. Not this time.
Something has shifted. The air itself feels different, as though the Force trembles at the edge of revelation. I have ruled unchallenged for years. I have felt the currents of the dark side flow through me without resistance, without hesitation, without weakness. But now, there is something else. A ripple where there should be silence. A shadow that moves where no shadow should be. The very fabric of the Force trembles, as if disturbed by a presence that should not exist.
I do not know what you speak of, my master. I do not feel what you claim. The Force is vast, its currents unpredictable. A ripple in its depths does not mean a storm is coming. Disturbances happen, remnants of the past shift and stir, but they are nothing. Nothing worth acknowledging, nothing worth fearing. You place too much weight upon a flicker in the void, a whisper in the wind. It is meaningless. I remain as I always have, unyielding, unchanged, untouched by the past. You see shadows where there are none. You hear echoes where there is only silence.
Do you feel it, Lord Vader? Do you sense it, lurking just beyond your reach? That tremor in the Force that was not there before? It is subtle, yet undeniable. A whisper, a ripple, an echo of something long eradicated. A presence that should have been destroyed, and yet it lingers, like embers buried beneath the ash, refusing to die, waiting for the faintest breath of wind to stir them back to life. You feel it. You may try to push it away. You may tell yourself it is nothing, but the Force does not lie. It is there. It is waiting. And it is calling.
Anakin Skywalker is dead. You know this. You ensured this. I ensured it. The man you speak of, the one you claim to sense, no longer exists. I buried him long ago, burned him away on the flames of Mustafar, crushed him beneath the weight of my destiny. He is nothing but dust, scattered into the void, forgotten by time. Whatever presence you feel, whatever name you whisper, it is an illusion, a phantom conjured by wishful thinking. Anakin Skywalker is a corpse, and I walk only in his ashes. There is nothing left of him, nothing that can return, nothing that matters.
Do not lie to me. I know you felt it. You cannot hide it from me, no more than you could hide it from yourself. Do you think I do not see? Do you think I do not know what stirs within you? The Force shifts, and so do you. You hesitate. You waver. And I will not allow it.
The Jedi have always clung to their ghosts. It is their greatest weakness. They fear the present, so they reach for the past. They refuse to let go of what is gone, of what cannot be reclaimed, believing that it still holds power over them. But ghosts do not rule the living. They do not shape the future. They are mere remnants, weak, meaningless, trapped in the echoes of what once was. I do not cling to the past. I do not need it. I am not haunted by it. I have destroyed it. You have made me more than what I once was. And yet you question me. You doubt me. The past has no hold on me, my master, and neither do the dead.
He has returned.
It means nothing. Skywalker is gone. He has no influence here, no power, no voice. If something remains, it is an echo, a flicker of what was, a dying breath in an endless void. But it will fade. It must fade. It has no place in this world. It does not change my purpose. It does not change me. I serve only the Empire. I serve only you.
You felt him. You may not have seen him. You may not have dared to speak his name, but you felt him. I know you did. The past reached for you through the Force, clawing its way through time, defying the fate you swore had been sealed. Anakin Skywalker, the Jedi you buried, the man you swore was dead, and yet, somehow in some way he remains. Not as flesh, not as blood, but as something else. A shadow refusing to fade, a whisper that lingers. And you, Lord Vader, you felt it. And still, you deny it.
Whatever you believe, my master, I remain as I have always been. I have not wavered. I have not broken. You forged me into something greater. You severed my chains, freed me from the illusion of the light. I do not stray from that path. I cannot stray from that path. My loyalty is not shaken. My purpose is not lost. I know who I am. I know what I have become. I am your weapon, your enforcer, your apprentice. If shadows linger, they will burn away. If the past reaches for me, I will cut it down. The Jedi are gone. Their influence is nothing. Their ghosts are powerless. I have no doubts.
Is he? You tell yourself that Anakin Skywalker is dead. You believe it. You built yourself upon that belief. You needed to believe it, because if you did not, then you would have to face what you did. You would have to face him. And so you buried him. You crushed him. You smothered the last remnants of who you were beneath the weight of the dark side, beneath my teachings, beneath your own rage. And yet, despite everything, he has reached through the Force once more, and the Force itself listens. Why? Why? Why now? Why does the past refuse to stay buried? Why does the Force whisper his name when it should have long since forgotten it? Why, Lord Vader, do you stand before me now, hesitating?
Anakin Skywalker is dead. I did not bury him. I destroyed him. I did not smother him. I purged him. The man I was, the Jedi I once claimed to be, ceased to exist the moment I embraced my true purpose. You did not shape me into something greater, my master. I chose this path. And yet, you question me. You press me with riddles, with illusions, with whispers that hold no weight. The Force does not call his name. I do not hear it. The past is dead.
No? You claim he is gone? That he no longer exists? Then tell me, my apprentice. Why now? Why has this presence emerged now? Why does he return now? After all these years, after all this time, after everything you have done to erase him, why has he come back to haunt the Force? Why does he reach for you? You have no answer. You cannot answer. Because deep down, you know. Deep down, beyond all your rage, beyond all your denial, you feel it, and it terrifies you.
Why? Why now? You demand answers for shadows that hold no power, for ghosts that have no voice. There is no reason, there is no meaning. The Force is vast. It shifts, it moves, it echoes what once was, but it does not bring back the dead. You sense a ripple in the dark and think it is the past clawing back to life. It is nothing, a disturbance, an anomaly, nothing more. You search for weakness where there is none. You search for him where he does not exist.
I felt it when the disturbance reached Yoda. I felt it. The pulse in the Force that was not meant to be. A connection rekindled. A presence that should not have touched the Force again. And yet, it did. He did. Do you understand what this means? The dead do not return. Not unless something calls them back. Not unless something is changing. And if something is changing, Lord Vader, it means that the fate we have shaped is no longer as certain as we once believed.
I do not hesitate. I do not waver. You claim I stand before you uncertain, that I am shaken by something unseen. But I am not. Anakin Skywalker is an illusion, a name with no meaning. I have not faltered. I have not forgotten who I am.
Do not be a fool.
You believe this presence is more than a flicker, that it is more than the dying breath of something long extinguished. Then tell me, why does it matter? If he was truly gone, as I know he is, then he cannot reach for me. And if he were somehow not, then what difference does it make? He's nothing to me. He has no power, no control, no place in this galaxy. I am Vader. I am your apprentice. That is all that matters.
I forged you, Vader. I created you. I tore away the weakness of the man you once were, stripped away the illusions of the Jedi, and reforged you into something greater. And yet, something has cracked. Something has shifted. A fault in the foundation. A light that should have long since been extinguished. I have spent too long perfecting you, shaping you into the apprentice I require, to allow something as pathetic as an old ghost to weaken you. For your sake, you had better be certain of your convictions. I will not tolerate failure. I will not allow sentiment, weakness, or the past to undo what I have built. The Jedi are gone. Their teachings, gone. Their influence, gone. And I will see to it that nothing remains. If there is even the faintest ember left smoldering in the ashes, I will crush it. I will not permit the past to rise again. Do you understand me, Lord Vader? If the past seeks to return, if the whisper of Skywalker still lingers in the Force, if you falter for even a moment, then I will burn it from existence. I will snuff it out before it can breathe. I will eradicate every trace of him, until not even the Force itself remembers his name.
What does it mean? It means nothing. He means nothing. Let the past whisper. Let the dead linger in the void if they wish. It does not change the present. It does not alter my course. I do not answer to ghosts. You speak as if this changes something, as if a disturbance, a mere flicker in the Force, threatens all that we have built. It does not. Do not mistake a shadow for a storm. Do not mistake a memory for a threat. Nothing has changed. Do not mistake my conviction, my master. I remain as I always have. I serve you. I obey you. If the past seeks to haunt me, then let it try. It will not touch me. It will not break me. You taught me to sever myself from weakness. That lesson has not been forgotten. If there is a fault, it will be corrected. If something has shifted, I will crush it. If a light remains, I will extinguish it. There will be no hesitation, no sentiment, no failure. I understand, my master. I will not allow the past to rise again. If Skywalker's name lingers in the Force, then I will erase it. If something stirs, then I will silence it. I will not falter. I will not hesitate. The Jedi are gone, and they will stay gone. Let the past seek to rise. Let it try. I will ensure it falls again. Then let it try. Let the past rise. Let it dare to stand before me, and I will crush it.